Hey everybody, Shandon here. Today we're talking with my good friend Brooke Procida, who's visiting us from New York City. Brooke is a career consultant who spends a lot of time with actors, preparing them for both performance and auditions. So let's talk about following directions.
Shall we?
Pretty much every audition, every submission comes with a set of directions, right?
Mm-hmm. It better.
And what would you say, explain that to the audience.
Okay, so you are getting an email, usually, from your agent or manager or directly from casting if you're submitting yourself, that says, this is what we want to see and this is how we want to see it. I cannot tell you how many submissions I get for things where no one pays any attention to the directions.
Yeah.
So, as an actor,
it's almost like a test. It's like
it
let's
absolutely
see
is.
if they can pass
because
the first
who wants to work with
test,
someone that cannot follow directions?
So true.
For example, it will say, we want to see the actor from the shoulders up because you need to see what's going on in the face. You need to see what's going on in the eyes, just like the lighting. We need to see what's happening.
And you want to see the emotional connection.
Exactly.
And it's really hard to judge that if
they're far away. Yeah.
Exactly.
But they will then most of the time ask for a full body shot. So then you will have whoever's running your camera pan up and down. So you see your full body, and sometimes they ask for a profile. So you do all of that. And oftentimes they will ask you for what is known as a slate, which is just the actor either standing there and giving a vocal slate, giving their information, which can include, again, read the directions. What do they ask for in your slate? Your name. I work with a lot of children, so they'll ask for your age. So your name, your age, your location, since we don't know where people are submitting from. Oftentimes it will ask for your representation, so the name of your agency or your manager, and a contact number. If you don't have an agent or a manager, you just basically put down your own phone number.
Yeah, and I think it's really important to add that you don't add a lot of information to your slate. That is
no,
unnecessary.
never add information to your slate. Just give them what they want.
Exactly, and yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes they'll ask you to hold it up on a piece of paper. They will say, please write this out and hold it up on a piece of paper. So then they'll ask you to shoot from the shoulders up, and then, also sometimes they'll send you 6 scenes, and you're like, oh my God, how am I gonna do all this by tomorrow? And at the bottom it will say, please prepare scenes 1 and 3.
Yeah.
But they didn't want to go through and cut all of that out. It just takes too much time, so they'll just put a note, and here you are preparing 6 scenes and screwing all of them up because you were nervous or overwhelmed, when really you just had to do 1 and 3.
Yeah, and instead of them looking at how talented you are, they're just looking how you can't follow directions.
Exactly.
Yeah, so follow directions, kids.
There you go.
So what do you suggest people wear for their self-tape auditions?
That's an awesome question. I'm going to just flat out say, don't overdo it, don't underdo it.
Right.
And so there's a fine line often. You don't want to look a mess. For girls in particular who have, could have hair issues, or guys with long hair, don't want it hanging in front of your face. You want to look kept and clean, like you've got it together. But you don't want to, pop on a taffeta dress per se, or wear a suit and tie. It's not that kind of a thing.
How much should you dress for the part? Should you suggest the character, or do you want to wear a costume?
Again, fine line between suggesting and wearing. Definitely do not wear a costume.
Right.
We don't want to see that you're great at wardrobe. We want to see that you can act. So, okay, a guy's auditioning for a 1950s greaser. You don't want to come on, with a white shirt rolled up and a pack of cigarettes here with your hair greased. Like, you don't need to do that. But wearing a t-shirt and jeans works.
Yeah.
Because you're supposed to be blue collar, you're supposed to be kind of edgy. You don't want to come on in a suit and tie for that. And if you're auditioning for a lawyer, maybe a suit and tie is appropriate because it's not a costume, it's just something you would wear if you were that type of person.
What about props?
No.
No props?
No, there have been times, particularly now, there's a lot of cell phone usage, and you'll get a scene where she's picks up her cell phone and da-da-da-da. Sometimes my actors will have the phone, but don't come on with a bouquet of flowers or a box of chocolate and be like, I got these for you, and have them toward the camera. You just work with what you've got, and we can imagine the rest.
Yeah. I would say if the prop is an integral part of the scene that creates action, that seems like that would be a prop that you might want to have.
Yeah, and if it's minimal, you don't want some huge, big distraction.
How much makeup should you wear if you're a woman, or actually if you're a guy too?
I think, I don't think guys need makeup for self-tapes at all. It's so up close and intimate and personal, and it's not supposed to be a finished product, and boom. For women, if you are a woman that wears makeup during the day, or if it's a part that's a little more mature than you actually are, or if it's a part that's younger, don't put on makeup. Think about what you're doing. You definitely don't want to be overdone like you're going on stage, but I would say the same applies for like the beginning of a photo shoot as well. You want to start neutral and just let them see who you are without anything, getting in the way, distracting, getting in the way of that.
That's, I think, a general rule. You don't want to present anything in your self-tape that's going to be a distraction to you and your talent.
Right, but if you are 30 years old and or let's say you're 22 and they're calling you in for 16, you don't want to have major glamour beauty makeup on if you're trying to look about 7 years younger than you are. And likewise, if you're playing someone older or more edgy, a little mascara, a little lip gloss, a little shadow on the cheek, just make yourself pop.